This is a review of my experience at the Residence Inn by Marriott, Philadelphia, Bala, Cynwyd, in a wheelchair accessible room with a tub. I was down in Philadelphia around Christmas time of 2025 for my second round of pre-op testing for my kidney donation surgery to cure my nutcracker syndrome, which is an abdominal vascular compression syndrome. Because we are still in a global pandemic of SARS-CoV-2, whenever I travel for medical appointments, surgeries, etc., I always wear my respirator, which is a 3M Aura, I believe 9205 plus. And the other thing I have to do as well is I can only travel laying flat or laying down because of the abdominal vascular compression syndromes. If I try to sit upright, I get really severe symptoms, including very severe pain, heart palpitations, lightheadedness, nausea, etc. So this is how I always had to travel pre-nutcracker surgery. If you've never been to Philadelphia before, be prepared for a significant amount of traffic. This was traveling from Temple Hospital over to the hotel. Here are some images of the front of the hotel that I took myself. It has a very industrial look to it. I haven't seen any other Marriott hotel that looks like this. Back when I used to do a lot of business travel and traveling for conferences, I used to stay exclusively at Marriott's, so I've been to several of them at this point. This is the left side of the lobby when you first enter through the main entrance. This is part of the general lounge area of the hotel. You can see that it's very nicely and tastefully decorated for the holidays. And out on the back deck during the warmer weather, they do have some seating areas to eat at for the restaurant. And before you get to this seated section, there is a big area for the morning breakfast, which is included in the room price. Time for the room tour given by yours truly. This is from the perspective of a manual wheelchair user. First, you can see that we have a lowered peephole, which is easily accessible to somebody in a wheelchair. I have no idea what these do. I did have an adjoining room with my parents, which was nice. And you can see the room is very open and spacious, very easy to maneuver in with a wheelchair. You've got the thermostat controls, which are easy to access. There is a nice cutout underneath the kitchen sink so that it's easy to wash dishes. Now, the fume hood controls are out of reach for most people, but that's why the controls are on the wall, and you'll see that there is a message above the controls here saying to use the switch on the wall. And the glasses up here in the kitchen, definitely not able to reach those. You're only going to be able to reach those if you're ambulatory or if you have somebody with you that can grab them. Microwave is easy to access. Stove. The refrigerator. I do want to point out the curtains behind the desk. You are not going to be able to reach those unless you can stand. The same applies for the curtains on the side of the bed. There is a very narrow space between the corner of the bed and the chair, and I have a pretty narrow wheelchair and I could not fit through there. Good evening, Ashley. Nice big TV for those that watch TV. You will notice my little squishmallow friends that I brought with me. Hi, guys. There was a little control panel here on the wall. I believe they were for the curtains, if I remember correctly. The other thing I always travel with nowadays is my little air purifier, which is that white thing you see on the nightstand. This room does come with a safe that's accessible. The ironing board, debatable. The stuff up top, definitely can't reach that unless you can stand. And the iron, I can barely reach, but again, I am on the taller side. Behind the bathroom door here, there is a little makeup area, or just a getting ready area, I guess. There are some cubby holes in the wall, along with some extra storage down below. It does have a big mirror there, and I believe there are some lights. Yep, there they are. There is also a full-length mirror on the back of the bathroom door, and the bathroom is huge. So I don't know if you saw on the right-hand side, before even going into the bathroom, there is a little hook down lower for towels. There is a cutout underneath the bathroom sink, and it is pretty easy to reach the faucet back there. There are some grab rails around the toilet, and this particular room has a tub. I asked for a tub versus a roll-in shower because I did not intend on taking a shower that night. If I was going to shower, I would have needed a roll-in tub. But you can see everything is laid out pretty nicely in the shower. And now it's time for sleep for me. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. And here are just some static images of the hotel room, the kitchen area, the bathroom, looking into the bathroom from the bed, the living room area. And this was our drive home. We ended up hitting a big snowstorm, which was lovely. Here is just a funny picture from the trip. I was laughing hysterically here because my parents had locked themselves out of the adjoining room twice. And my mom went down the first time to get another key. And then the second time they were standing in my room arguing about who was going to go down to the front desk to get their room unlocked a second time. It was absolutely hilarious. While I was down in Philadelphia repeating my pre-op testing, I was lucky enough to meet up with one of my friends that I made in one of the online support groups, and she gave me this cute little squishmallow thing. And when you open it up, it has a little ring along with 3 squish-alongs. How adorable. I love this so much. She was actually there for her discharge appointment after donating her kidney to cure her nutcracker syndrome. And that's it for this tour of the hotel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Bye!